No. Here we are. We are alive and we are excellent.
We're here. We're here now.
I'm here. You guys are here.
I seem to be here.
Yay!
Am I real?
It's been so long, and in the world of Shadowrun, you never know.
It's so true. So true.
Is it actually happening?
The long-awaited epilogue from the heist from hell.
Yes, indeed.
Professional.
You're gonna have to stop doing that. Oh, look at that! Twitch reminding me that we're live. Thanks.
By the way,
yeah.
you are alive. It's confirmed.
Just in
No
case you had any
shit! Oh, welcome again, my friends, to this gloriously cluttered table. I really need to clean this goddamn mess up at some point. But not today. Not today.
Tomorrow, but not today.
Yeah, it's probably not then either, but, you know. We are back to the futuristic world of Seattle and its harbor. More importantly, when we last left our intrepid heisterinos, they were on their boat.
Yeah.
So let's
On a boat, man.
I'm on a boat. Let's go there. Let's go to the boat.
The boat.
Now, when I originally built this, I was like, okay, I'm going to scale it up now. And as soon as I tried to scale this up, it exploded and pieces went flying everywhere, which is why you had a crate inside your blue secret area. So I put everything back and I stopped touching things.
Uh-huh.
All right. Welcome back.
Yes.
Let me get my little notepad out here. I've been writing back and forth here. Now I need to read my own writing, which is the hardest part of all of this. All right, so you've just recently been picked up from you stole a lifeboat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we stole a lifeboat, and then we were.
You were adrift on the sea briefly.
The bantha, whatever you call it.
The cuddly bantha. You're not spaceship. Yes.
You're gonna have to remind me what we were doing.
You were stealing a sword from a ship, and you and Ludo were on board the ship. You're actually on the bridge up here. You are absolutely tiny. I know you're a dwarf, but I need to increase your size a little bit. I think you were colliding with things. I think that's why I shrunk you down, because you were crashing into things. And back in the cargo hold, we find our good friend Zero clutching his bag of ill-gotten goods. And Felix.
I'm not letting the sword out of my sight.
I don't blame you at all. Don't blame you at all. All right. So, the waves of the sea splash against the hull of the cuddly bantha as its crew sits almost silently below deck, still coming to the realization that they would likely not be part of a tuna sandwich, at least not this evening.
I'll eat the tuna.
Don't eat the tuna. Don't eat the Chad. The digital display of the bridge entrance tunnel turns green and reads autopilot engaged. As soon as I can find green on here. You soon hear the footsteps of one very heavy footstep and obviously one slightly lighter footstep as the door slides open and both Ludo and Oracle find themselves in the cargo hold with you, crashing into light cubes because they're floating in the air. Yeah, like that light cube right there refuses to work with me. If I could make them like non-corporeal, that would be nice. So they step through. They're happy to see you guys. You guys look like you've been through hell, even though you were technically just at a boat party. You still look pretty stressed out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very stressful boat party.
Mm-hmm. Ludo kind of walks over to Zero and kind of leans in, and he's like, "Success?
Success.
Ah, sword?
Sword.
Sea
All right,
sword.
go ahead. I unsheath it. Just far enough to see that it's actual and it's real.
Okay, yeah, right. It doesn't say made in Shiwase.
Yeah, we are all checking to make sure. Like, feel free to look. If I missed anything, we can still turn around.
It's not too late. This time we go straight up piracy.
Yeah.
Go on there.
We sink the boat and we salvage the friggin' thing.
Get the scuba gear.
Yeah, right?
Ludo reaches out very carefully and takes the sword from you and starts to examine it. The longer he looks at it, the wider his eyes become. Slowly he turns it over in his hands, and after a few moments of absolutely gawking at it, he closes the sword and hands it back to you almost in a reverent manner. He's completely awestruck. "Dojigiri Yatsusana," he whispers. And he quickly turns around and returns to the bridge.
Ojigiri Yatsu-san.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that reaction from him.
He just jumped off the ship. He's like, "Yeet!"
I fucked up. I'm out of here.
No, he didn't seem afraid. He just seemed shocked.
Still,
a moment.
Still, like I feel like we made a mistake in maybe not learning more about the history of this particular blade.
Hey,
A moment later,
well,
the autopilot display disappears and it turns red. You feel the ship begin to accelerate. Not like full throttle madness, but it definitely accelerates.
Up to the bridge. Find out what's going on.
All right. You poke your head through there and just like, "Everything cool, buddy?" He's like, "Yatsusana, Yosuke."
What's with this sword that you're freaking out a little bit, man?
Why don't you look up the name? Maybe you can get a little info from the internet.
Ochigara.
I'm not the hacker.
You are not. You are also don't know any Japanese, so it would not do.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. How do you spell that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Doing John and Gary?
Yeah. What? Also, maybe doing a straight up Gongle search after you've just stolen it, probably not a very good idea.
No.
To sell.
No.
As you hear helicopter starts.
How to sell stolen Dojigiri sword.
How to murder the president? Oh no! The FBI ship that's following us now knows what we've done. Oracle, would you like to do a little encrypted search about that?
Sure.
Okay.
What's it called again?
It's Jojigiri Yatsusana is the name that Ludo called the sword.
The sword. It is one of 5 swords under heaven, of which only 2 remain here. This blade was possessed by the demon Daimano Nobuganda Oda in feudal Japan. After the cataclysm of the Sixth World Merger, much of Japan was damaged. Once Reku computer systems emerged as a corporate powerhouse, the Oda clan once again rose to power, and the ancient sword in hand.
Yep, that's right. It is the actual legitimate sword of Oda Nobunaga, one of the daimyos that tried unifying Japan in feudal era. And it's a family. It's not just a family heirloom. It's quite literally a national treasure of Japan. Like it's like the national heirloom of Japan.
Yeah.
So.
And we just stole it.
And you just stole it from the family.
Oh, wow.
So, what do you think of that, Felix? How does that strike you?
I've got some reservations. I've also got some why we would have taken this sword, maybe.
Sure.
Hey, Felix. Felix. Wow, I'm tired. Hey, Zero.
Yeah.
While you were grabbing that sword, I had a interesting conversation with Toradashi Oda.
Mm-hmm.
So
About
the
what?
kind of well, mostly about his brother, and I don't know if it was my magic that brought me his trust, or he's just a worse drunk than I am. But the point is, he confided to me about his family history, which, if this sword is a big part of that, there might be a connection as to why we're even grabbing this thing in the first place.
Okay. So are we talking about some kind of family squabble? The Yakuza did say that the sword was in the hands of a relative, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a long story, but we have some time before we hit the mainland anyways, and probably it'll make sense in context now that we know more about the sword we've got. But he told me he was close to his stepbrother growing up, and their father was the head of Shiawase Corp. He wasn't exactly Father of the Year material. He would make them compete a lot against one another relentlessly, stating only the strongest would have the honor of wielding the family name and the power represented. But as he grew older, he caught on that the odds were actually stacked against Ishida. That is until his magical abilities began to develop. He ended up gaining an affinity to fire magic, which might explain the fascination with mine. But anyways, their father took it as an affront to their family, and from then on, Ishida was to never be allowed to carry on his step-family name. The kid ended up lashing out, doing some stuff by including running an underground cyber fight arena and drone wars without his family knowing. As dangerous as that was, he ended up making a decent killing off of the gambling and was considered a fierce and nearly unbeatable opponent. Only Toradashi knew about it. His stepbrother had gotten himself into unreputable dealings and all. It didn't last, however. Their father found out, and he ended up getting exiled to the streets of Japan. But the kid saw it coming and had a safety net. His newfound passion as a professional cyber battle competitor. That lasted even less. He made the wrong enemies and the wrong allies. He made one last move and became indebted to the Yakuza. That's about the time I started having deja vu about the whole situation. They eventually sent him to America to use his skills to set up an underground gambling ring in exchange for his life. And that was the last Toradashi actually heard of him. The only reason why I bring this whole thing up is, and I don't want to be involved in this, but I have a feeling we were kind of forced into. I can't for the life of me remember the name of the dude we're getting this sword for, but I don't think it was Ishida.
Yeah, and he who controls the sword controls the family, essentially.
So Ishida's still out there, and there's this third guy now that we are working for that wants this sword.
Okay.
Yeah, so Toradashi is basically the good son, and Ishida was the stepson, and basically he wasn't good enough to be part of the family, and everything he did was wrong until everything he did was wrong, and you know. Hey, Conrad, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's going on, Conrad?
Yes, it is essentially the Japanese Declaration of Independence, kind of, sort of, in the way that it was used to behead the previous emperor.
Yes.
I don't remember the Declaration of Independence being used to do that. What? So are you telling me we took the sword away from the guy we really should have left it with, and
possibly? I guess you'll have to see.
I mean, what were our choices?
Exactly.
Honestly,
turn into a tuna melt sandwich or steal the sword.
Yeah. So now I feel like we're gonna get involved, and I do not want to get involved.
Listen, we're Shadowrunners. Our job was to take the sword, return it, and get paid.
That's right. Wipe your fingerprints off of it and disappear into the night.
I would say I agree. We need to get this sword to who it's owed to. In this case, the guy that's currently has our heads on the chopping block. Because I don't know about you, but there's one thing I don't like more than getting involved in family business is getting involved with family business when the family can recognize my face. So
yeah.
When they're in the habit of turning people into tuna.
Yeah. So the quicker we clean our hands of this, the better. Yeah.
I mean, the good news is you're on the good side of the Yakuza and not, like Shiawase is going to be mad, but like Zero said many times, they don't really take it out personally on Shadowrunners. Shadowrunners are just like part of the business, but to the Yakuza, personal stuff is personal. So, not that this sword isn't personal.
Somehow I managed to get into a personal conversation with this guy, so I feel like he'll take it pretty fucking personally.
Yeah, he's kind of sad. You could have stayed on the ship and went to Japan.
I could have. It was a choice.
No, that's fine. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss before we make dock at the tuna plant? Yes.
Do we have magnificent mustaches and beards for 80s pornos? Is that
who is this Zero? I am being -1.
Accurate description. I am -1. Yes.
That is my evil brother, Zero.
I am E, an imaginary number. Okay, well, I guess it's backstory, but it's too little, too late. I'm afraid we got to finish the job.
Yeah. All right.
Hopefully we don't get any more involved than we already are.
Right. All right. Slowly but surely, you make your way towards the docking area of the actual tuna factory, and you can feel the ship slowly come into a slow roll and then eventually docking. As you exit the ship, you find lots of armed guards just kind of making sure that who's coming into the dock. Like, hey, what are you doing here?
How did we come to a dock?
You're at the dock of the tuna plant.
Oh.
Who
was the guy? Who was the guy we needed to talk to?
I figured we'd ditch the boat somewhere because it's the only way to get traced back to us, but whatever.
Well, he already knows who you are.
Yeah, there's no hiding from them.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Whatever. I'll fix that later.
What, Conrad? What's wrong?
It's going to be fine.
But, yeah, so we need to talk to his boss, or whoever his second command is.
Gotcha. After
we have his delivery.
Yeah, after a little bit of deliberating, he radios in, and the assistant comes walking down. You recognize her. She spoke with you before, Felix, when you originally arrived. I see you've made it back to the station. Welcome, gentlemen. Follow me this way.
Very good.
And you guys can actually stay right there because I just made copies of you guys. You guys are still over at the table here.
Yeah.
Yay. And I'm going to click this, and it's going to be... Oh, wait. I'm going to do this the right way. Pack this. And then I'm going to click this. And that's not going to take me where I want to go. Oop, ba-ba-da. Boom.
Feigning taint. I have tried. It's never really worked.
Oh, I was
that's
so
what
confused
that's
by
what the
that.
channel points are for.
But you can spend channel points to try and get bonuses or penalties against us if you earn enough of them.
Yes, that's right.
And all you have to do is click the channel points in the lower left of the chat to. Can you bribe him? Yeah, like I said, with channel points. Go check him out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where did my oracle go?
Sexual favors, you might have better luck than I, because I mean, compared to you, Feigning Tate, I am a chode. So,
I mean, you guys can Eiffel Tower me. It's fine.
All right, as long as it's clear.
I am missing an oracle. I don't know where.
You could make it obscenely difficult on us all. Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes and no. You are allowed to incur the wrath of the game master, and there's a couple other negative ones in there, I think, as well.
Yes.
But the harder ones are limited. You can only do once per stream, and that's period for everybody. Once it's used, it's done, kind of thing.
Let's see here. Pardon me while I hunt down.
See, I knew you shouldn't have packed up the original.
I know, it's my own fault.
You
Okay.
put her in the boat.
I did.
There.
She's on the boat forever. Boop. Plop. Okay.
Problem solved.
Sorry about that. And
Oh,
pack
man.
it up. And tuna plant.
Yeah, I made a fancy command. Isn't it pretty?
Yar.
Ooh,
Very nice.
I love it.
It's the commands.
I'm glad you know what you're doing. Ooh.
Just remember, your wish is Silent One's command.
Yay!
Does everybody want to listen to a cat scream and holler because they want attention?
Where is he?
He's right here.
Oh, he's bugging you. Okay, usually
he's
sitting on my
bugging
tower.
me.
All right. So you gentlemen are escorted up the stairs of the tuna plant and across a catwalk. And as you approach the catwalk, you see the gentleman in question. As soon as I actually hit the build button, like so. Boobity.
Nobunaga Oda, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Now, Nobunaga Oda is actually the name of the original owner of that sword. Or not the original owner, but the wielder of that sword from feudal Japan. So that's probably not his real name. It's kind of maybe a little arrogant of him to use that name, but yeah, you know. So as you guys approach, he's actually on the phone, so he's not even paying attention. And yeah, why are you not green? Who ungreened you? I'm gonna re-green you.
It's over here.
Boop.
That's
Oh, that's
yellow.
right. That's yellow. Sorry. Boop. Boop. Nope. I have to ungreen her now. F.
You silly, silly man.
What are
No,
you
she's
doing?
green. No, she's green. Everybody's color coded, so I can tell you people apart without zooming in. All right. Grab my notepad once again. All right. So as you're making your way across the catwalk of the infamous tuna plant, you are met by an alarmingly numerous security personnel guarding your taskmaster, as it were. Most of them are heavily tattooed, and more of them are kind of spaced out. You'd think most of them are probably using drugs. So, dipping into the business, as it were.
So we could take them.
Maybe. However, behind him is a cyber-mech guard. That is the Hanzo over 9000.
Nah. Wait, Hanzo.
Like I said, he's very jealous of his brother.
The Hanzo over 9000.
I should have put a greater than symbol there instead. But anyway. So the assistant escorts you across the catwalk. He said he'll be with you in just a moment. He's just finishing a business call. As you get kind of close, he turns around and he notices you guys are there, and he kind of almost smiles. Not quite excited, but he's more excited than happy. Very good. You have arrived. I trust that. Before he has a chance to finish his sentence, Ludo pushes past you guys, and the giant troll, even though he's not, I guess he's not very giant here. Let me scale him up a touch.
What? What is Ludo doing?
Ludo pushes past you to meet the man. His hulking arms and his oversized trench coat make him almost disappear entirely as Ludo surprises him with a hug. The guards snap to attention and raise their weapons in alarm, but a suited human hand appears from the coat to wave them off. Pushing away from the troll and adjusting his tie and glasses, the leader steps back, and his scowl slowly fades to a serious and composed state. Ludo-san, the point of you being killed was that you were supposed to be dead, remember? And you idiots! He turns around to his guards. What were you going to do? Shoot me in the back? Huh? He slaps the man's gun and still partially raised, like, are these your protection bullets? All of you, go! He turns back to face you. He shakes his head. It is difficult to find good help. I see that you were victorious. I had spies on the ship tracking your progress.
Yes, we did indeed retrieve the sword.
Fantastic.
I just offer it up to him with both hands, just holding the sword lightly so he can just take it.
He takes it from your hands, and he actually smiles a bit. And he unsheaths the sword a bit, and he looks at it for a few minutes, and he puts it back, and he holds it to his side, and his smile kind of turns back to that serious tone again. As agreed, you will be rewarded. Please follow me to my office, which I didn't actually build the office because we're only be there for a minute. Anyway.
Okay.
Join me for a drink and celebration while my assistant transfers credits to you.
Sure.
And after I'm drunk, you can remind me how many credits I'm supposed to give you, because I don't remember how many credits I'm supposed to give you. It was like
8,000.
2 million apiece, right? This was
50 million credits.
I specifically remember.
I genuinely thought it was 8,000.
I think it was too, but I genuinely cannot remember. It's been so very long.
Oh, you know, we can always go back and check the YouTube vid of that episode. Pretty sure that one made it.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to look back there. But
nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true.
Cool.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's
well, Felix will.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Oh yeah,
that's a bit of a teetotaler.
True.
Right?
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true.
Uh-oh.
But nobody
I think
leaves
it's stuck
this
on loop,
table
guys.
unsatisfied. That's
what?
Probably true. But
The
nobody
notification.
leaves this table unsatisfied. That's
I'm hearing it repeating.
True. But nobody leaves this table
so that-
unsatisfied.
onward.
Someone might have just
True.
subscribed.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Oh,
that's
subscribulations.
probably true.
Yes.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Oh, we have
I don't know how to
someone
fix it.
named.
Probably true. But
I'm
nobody
almost
leaves this table
scared to say
unsatisfied.
that name.
That's probably true.
That's all right.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Honslot.
That's probably true.
Do
But
I go
nobody
to make
leaves
sure it
this table
doesn't sound like
unsatisfied.
anything rude.
That's
Right.
probably
I'm
true.
gonna hit up
But
stream
nobody
on this.
leaves this table unsatisfied.
What up, old man? You put
that's
down a nice stream for
probably
real.
true. But nobody
appreciate
leaves this
that.
table unsatisfied.
He must be talking to you.
That's
It must be.
probably
I mean, we are
true.
old,
But
all old
nobody
men,
leaves
but
this
you know.
table
Yeah.
unsatisfied.
I-
That's
Says
probably
you.
true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
That is not old
that's
Aura, man.
Probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true.
I
But
don't know
nobody
how to
leaves
fix
this
this.
table unsatisfied. That's
Is it just
true.
repeating
It's
over and
repeating
over
over and
again?
over again.
This table
Okay,
unsatisfied.
so in OBS, you're gonna just
But
click
nobody leaves
the
this
check
table
mark next to
unsatisfied. That's
the
true.
browser
But nobody leaves
source
this
that
table
is
unsatisfied.
that is
That's
putting that on the
probably
screen.
True.
I
But nobody
don't see
leaves
it.
this table unsatisfied. That's
So
probably
what are
true.
your sources
But nobody
in
leaves this
OBS?
table unsatisfied. That's
the game
probably true.
and the video
But nobody
capture.
leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably
Those are
true.
the only sources?
But nobody
That's the only
leaves this
sources I
table
can see.
unsatisfied.
Can you test one of the
probably
other
true.
things?
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
And maybe I'll stop it.
That's probably true.
You want me to stop
But
the stream
nobody
and
leaves this
restart?
table
No,
unsatisfied.
no, test the,
that's
try
probably
testing
true.
one of the other
But
alerts.
nobody
Like,
leaves
click
this
on the...
table
Oh, okay.
unsatisfied.
Let me
I don't think that's...
Probably
Yeah.
true. But nobody leaves this
What's
table
bizarre is
unsatisfied.
I didn't see or
That's
hear any of
probably
those
true.
alerts,
I can hear
notifications,
sounds.
or
This table
sounds.
unsatisfied.
Yeah, I
That's
I
can't
can't-
see nothing.
I can't
But
see it or
nobody
hear it.
leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true.
And
But
Blood will
nobody
use
leaves
his
this
points to
table
do this.
unsatisfied.
You may very well have.
Probably true.
Oh, this is
But
good.
nobody
That's the
leaves
sort of
this
thing he
table
would do.
unsatisfied.
Yeah, right.
That's probably true.
So
But
to
nobody leaves
get
this
the
table
stream
unsatisfied.
element stuff to
That's
show up, you have to
probably
enter
true.
it in
But
as a
nobody
browser
leaves this
source.
table
Oh, okay.
unsatisfied.
So it's got to be
That's
somewhere in your
probably
list, and
true.
if you just
But
turn it
nobody
off,
leaves this table unsatisfied.
shouldn't see it or hear it
That's
anymore. But
Mm.
without
But
seeing your
nobody leaves
screen,
this
I don't know
table
how to point you to the right
that's
thing to turn
probably
off.
So
true.
just add a
But
source.
nobody leaves this table
No,
unsatisfied.
it would already be in your
That's
list if it's
probably
showing up.
true. But
That's- I
nobody
don't see
leaves
it,
this
I only
table
hear it.
unsatisfied. That's probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. Probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Well,
That's probably true. But nobody
if you
leaves
hear
this
it, then
table
it's in your list
that's
because
probably true.
you would not be
But
hearing it
nobody
if it
leaves
wasn't
this
there.
unsatisfied.
So it's got to be somewhere in there. But
True. But nobody
I don't
leaves
have
this
OBS
table
on this PC,
unsatisfied.
so I can't actually
that's
walk you through it.
Probably true. But
That's
nobody
okay.
leaves this table unsatisfied. That's
me
probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
Or maybe
that's
I do.
Probably
I
true.
genuinely
But nobody leaves this
don't
table
know
unsatisfied.
where to go
That's
other than-
probably true. But nobody
There we go,
leaves this
OBS
table
Studio.
unsatisfied.
Yep.
That's probably true.
Alright,
But
well, hopefully it
nobody
doesn't
leaves
try
this
and take
table
my
unsatisfied.
webcam away from
that's-
Discord,
That's
but
alright if you come back.
But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied.
let me see if I can open this
that's
up.
Probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true. But nobody leaves this table unsatisfied. That's probably true. But nobody leaves this table
Okay, so
unsatisfied.
you should be in a
that's
scene right now, yes?
Yeah.
But nobody leaves this table
Okay,
unsatisfied.
can you switch the
that's
scene real quick and then go back?
Yes.
Go to the start screen and the end screen and then
Yes.
jump back and
I did.
see if it goes away.
It did.
It did go away?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm just
Okay,
not
yeah,
sure why
must-
it did it at all.
Must have just reset the whichever source it was that was causing the trouble.
Well, that was kind of insane. Yes, I also am going to hear that for eternity. And I do not know why it was stuck on repeat. That was insane.
Yeah, it was
I didn't
bizarre.
hear anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it at all, so
No. You can only the people watching the stream can hear it and the person streaming.
No, I mean, like, I'm watching the stream too, and I didn't hear
You
it
didn't
or
hear it?
see it. No.
I really hope so. That would be really nice.
But people in chat are, so I don't know.
That was insane. I'm not sure how that happened or why it
Oh,
happened.
don't do it. Don't do it, Conrad. Don't do it.
Oh, God. Ah,
that mean a new sub for each loop of the message.
I wish.
We could only dream.
Right?
We could only dream.
Oh, my God.
Ah.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right.
I long for the day when we get
But
sub
yes,
numbers like
Bloodwood,
that.
please clip that so I can see what was going on, because
Yeah, 'cause we-
apparently I was special and
Did
didn't see
it
nothing.
actually show it on the screen, or did you guys just hear the sound?
I didn't see any pop up.
Yeah, you.
I'm just genuinely curious.
Because when would you have set up that browser source to do that?
Heck if I know.
Doesn't
That's
make
just
sense.
audio.
It was just audio. That's interesting.
Because what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to see a little video of,
and then it goes away.
We've actually done a couple of us from our back when we used to make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And it's just a little clip that goes along with whatever you did, subbing or whatnot, and then it's just supposed to end.
Yeah, that was kind of wacky.
It's not supposed to loop, so yeah, very very strange.
Well, sorry about that, everybody. I didn't mean to.
If it happens again, just jump back and forth between.
Yeah, at least I know how to
scenes
shut it up now, because that was insane. All right. Where on
Back to
earth
business.
were we? Yes, I apologize. That was bonkers.
We were finding out apparently Ludo knows our person.
Yes.
And we were hanging out with quote-unquote Nobunaga Oda.
Yes.
To have drinks and maybe get him drunk and find out what the hell's going on.
You guys are going to get paid, which is most importantly of all. So the assistant takes your information and begins wiring secret money to you. We can agree on 8,000 apiece.
That works for me.
He's actually going to give you an extra cut so that you can transfer it to Ludo, because Ludo's supposed to be dead, and he's clearly not, but he can't transfer any money to him.
Okay, yeah, we'll give Ludo his share.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
100%. We were gonna give him his share out of ours, but if he's giving us an extra, why not? Absolutely.
Yeah. He's kind of happy to see him, but kind of mad at him for being here because he's they're not supposed to see each other. So. So you guys.
To be fair, he didn't know what we were doing.
No, he really didn't. In fact, the sword told him what was going on more than anything else. You guys didn't really fill him in that much. You want to steal things? Yeah. Boat. Okay.
He didn't ask questions. We didn't divulge.
He's a perfect Shadowrunner, to be honest.
He really is. So you guys are sitting there in like kind of a office cafeteria area, and he's passing around sake, and he's clutching that sword like crazy, and while the assistant's handing you the cred sticks and everything, he and Ludo are talking, and they're actually talking in perfect Japanese.
Oh.
Felix, you speak Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to roll to try and understand what he's saying?
Sure. Let's see. Language, Japanese. I've got a pool of 7.
All right.
Six, 7. See here.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
you did really good. You did really good.
6, 5, 5, 6, 6.
All right, so it is first of all, it is now your understanding that Ludo speaks perfect Japanese.
Yeah.
English is his like 4th language, and he doesn't speak it very well, which is why he's had trouble communicating with you guys. But he actually speaks very eloquently in Japanese.
Spoke to me.
He didn't know any of you spoke Japanese. None of you tried. All of you just spoke English at him. That's all he replied in.
He didn't try to speak to us in any other language either.
You're all in Seattle. Japanese was not what he chose for a dwarf. This dwarf clearly speaks Japanese. But Ludo's from Japan, so the conversation you pick up from him is basically Nobunaga talking about why he's in Seattle instead of going to the East Coast like he originally instructed him, and what's he been doing, and I can't believe you're shadowrunning, and Ludo's describing you guys and how things kind of developed and how he ran into you, and he nods his head and he just kind of pats his shoulder and he walks over to you guys and is like, so you've picked up a stray cat from the streets, I see.
Yeah, it was kind of an accident, but it's been a blessing. Ludo's really saved us a couple of times, and we're completely grateful and indebted to him.
He is extremely skilled with the drones. When I when I originally met him, he was a Drone Wars champion. I'm sure you've seen the television show from Japan with all the robots fighting each other in the arenas.
Really? He was on that show?
He was on that show. He was one of the pilots of that show, but not for very long. See, the drones he built were too artillery heavy for that show, and because they didn't want to rebuild the arena every time, you know, they kind of told him no, it's only allowed to have knives and things like that. And he began actually doing underground drone fighting, which is very, very popular in Japan, and that's actually where we met. We used to be actually rivals in the underground drone fighting circle.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. And unfortunately, more often than not, I was not victorious against him. He shoots Ludo a dirty look. He's like, triple plasma cutter was bullshit, and you know it. He turns back to you guys. He's like, he was bullshit. I was not always so calm and level-headed in my youth, if you can believe that.
I think I can, Ishida.
No, Ishida is dead. Only Nobunaga exists now.
Gotcha. Nobunaga it is.
Tell me, how is my brother?
He speaks fondly of you.
Felix would know better than I.
Yeah. He speaks fondly of you.
He is a good man.
Filled me in with a bit of your family history of what's going on.
Yes.
So, really, though, if I were right being saying don't ask, I gotta ask, what's the play here?
I now possess that which controls the Oda clan, and because I have won it, there are no rules. Subterfuge is completely allowed, and now I have the family sword, and I will use it to punish my father for his cruel treatment of me in my youth.
I apologize, but I thought your father was dead.
Oh no, he is quite alive still.
Oh.
But he is quite old. I should clarify, my stepfather.
Oh. Gotcha.
He is one of the retiring heads of the Shiawase Corporation, and my brother was to take his place. But now he does not head the clan anymore, and things might be a little different.
Wow.
But I will not trouble you with my family matters.
Could you give us like a quick aside? Me and Zero and Oracle.
Yeah, you three can just kind of back away. Him and Ludo will catch up a little bit.
I just need to confer something real quick before we settle things here.
Go right ahead.
I'll move on. So I'll kind of usher Zero and Oracle closer to me, and we'll be kind of like out of earshot as best we can. And even so, we'll still do sub-vocal.
I was gonna say we could just sub-vocalize.
Yeah, but I don't want them to kind of like see any sort of expression either, just in case. So I'm gonna start by saying something is, well, unironically fishy here.
Listen, we don't want to get involved in anything. We did our job. It's time to go home.
Yeah,
True.
Oracle's right.
Well, there's been a thing that's been bothering me since we got away scot-free. Who was that other Shadowrunner, and what was he doing there?
That's a good question.
I don't think he was there to steal that sword.
Nope. Didn't
sound like it.
He might have been on a completely different mission, and you fucked him.
Yeah. Oh man, I fucked him good.
And once they get to Japan and they find out the fucking sword's missing, yeah, he'll wish he was Chad.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying that between that other Shadowrunner being there, happening to do something parallel to what we were doing, but also the fact that I don't know, something seems too easy about this. Like, almost as if this was meant to happen, or somebody else set us up this way.
Yeah, I mean, you may have been extremely lucky. You guys did have a solid plan. I gotta admit. As much as I'd like something more nefarious to be going on, I think you just outsmarted the dungeon master.
Oh no! I feel bad.
No, you did a very, very good job.
Yeah, and we got really lucky that I don't.
You rolled
usually
like a champion.
Oh yeah, there was that, but I also reacted well to situations that should have thrown me a lot harder than they did.
Yes, no, you did.
Like
you did
running into that Shadowrunner and just having the perfect story to sell. Like, for God's sake, like that was just.
Yeah, no, from start to finish, you guys really executed that thing really well for not having a really good plan, and I was impressed. And I let you succeed because you thought it out really well and you played it really well. So I mean, you deserve your victory.
Gotcha.
You
in that case, perhaps we really are just that good, or perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, you might be mostly lucky, but that's okay.
No, it's definitely going to come to bite us in the butt. But
there will be repercussions, I am sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm just extremely grateful we're not being turned into tuna. So,
yes, very true.
Well, there goes my concern. Still in the back of my head, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying
we can think about it. We can think about it and deliberate about it later.
Right. All right. Best then for us to start wrapping it up here then, before he has.
Great. Conrad is
oh man, yeah.
On Blood Wolf.
You guys have it in the balance. You can choose how. In fact, if I remember correctly, Chad is the one that helped Oracle basically conquer the entire ship digitally with zero effort. So I mean, that also went really well. So Chad made it happen. Chad? Yeah, Chat.
When he was
Chat.
Oh, Chat.
Our Chat.
Thank you. I was going to say Chad was fish food.
Chad was
tuna. Like Chad couldn't do squat.
It was Chad's memory that made us succeed.
Was very good.
Cat did it. Yes.
Let me be very clear. I would never ruin good tuna with bad Chad. Chad was turned into fish food.
Fair.
I'm still not taking my
He brings out a big sushi platter. You're like, no, you guys did a good job helping him out. You guys did a glorious job.
I'm scared from having tuna in real life. I think the only time I'm going to order tuna now is when I order from Subway. Because at least it's not real tuna.
Oh man!
So Ludo and him are chatting and stuff, and he turns around and he starts to say something in Japanese to Zero, and then he stops himself and he's like, Ishida tell you how we meet. Ishida shoves him and he's like, Nobunaga. It's like Ishida-san. So Nobunaga. Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's they didn't quite have that relationship.
Oni-san!
Ludo with a chibi face. So when we originally met, we were rivals, like I said. But how we became friends and partners was I got into an altercation in a bar with some sore losers, and I didn't know when to back down. And it was 7-on-1, and they dragged me out into the alleyway, and they were about to cut me into pieces and throw me in a dumpster. When this big drunk troll stumbles into the alleyway looking for a place to take a piss.
That sounds about right.
I recognized him immediately, but I don't think he even realized I was there since they had me pinned to the ground and they were beating me. But they didn't like being interrupted, and they made the foolish decision to attack them. And they were all humans. They were all humans, and it was just like, why would you do that? Like, no amount of drunk would make me fight a troll. But he did. He dispatched them very quickly, and then pissed on them.
No surprise there.
Only then did he realize that I was crumpled into a garbage bag in the corner of the alleyway and struggling to get up, covered in blood. He stood me up, brushed me off, and then helped me back into the bar. And that is how we began being friends instead of rivals. My career in drone combat wasn't as successful as my gambling career. I'm very good with numbers, and Ludo was very good at drone combat. And soon we were running all of the underground facilities for every penny they had. And it wasn't very long before the Yakuza actually noticed and recruited me, and thereby recruited him. Suddenly we were going to posh underground arenas, not like parking garages and the back of bar parking lots and things like that, but actual secret arenas with, you know, bulletproof walls and things. We were allowed to use rockets and things like that. So it went very smoothly for a long time, and everybody was making a fortune. That was shortly before my father found out about my actions. He dismissed me from the family and kicked me out of the house. Not that, I mean, he was just looking for a reason to make it happen the whole time anyway, but he finally made it his dream come true of exiling me. But I had a new family. I had the Yakuza, and I had Ludo. And life was good until one night we were supposed to lose the fight. He makes a gesture over Ludo, lose the fight. And the opponent's drone actually malfunctioned, and a shot that shouldn't have hit actually hit it squarely and destroyed it completely in the second round. And that was not good when there's a lot of money from certain people riding on that particular match. What made it worse, though, was that the opponent had sabotaged his own rig and made a bet in Ludo's name for a ton of cash. So it looked like Ludo had betrayed them.
Oh.
And the opponent got away with the money, at least temporarily. We caught up with him later. I'll tell you about the fishing stories another time. But once that happened, the Yakuza ordered me to kill Ludo. But I could not bring myself to do it. I owed him my life, and I spared his because of it. So I faked his death and moved him to the United States. And he's supposed to be dead. Dead. So at least he's hiding in the shadows. You could have at least changed your name, Ludo-san.
We can try and keep him out of the way. But I think everyone under your command has already seen them. As long as none of them betray you.
Yes. These high idiots won't remember anyone, but these guys are loyal to me specifically, so it's all good.
Good.
Especially Hanzo plus 9,000.
Well, we can help keep Ludo both safe and out of harm's way. He's a valuable member of the team.
I very much appreciate that.
Now that we know how to speak to him in his native language, we might have an easier time of getting across what we want to say to him.
Yes, his English is terrible. He's been here for like 3 years. He still speaks terrible English. All right, Ludo-san, you are no longer allowed to come to this area. Okay, understand? All right. He bows his head. He wishes you well, and then he lets you guys leave back to your ship, and then you can head back to the other dock and leave.
Okay.
So
let's get out of here.
You are now 8,000 credits richer, each and every one of you. That is a good sum. You have 8,000 new yen. So make sure you tally that up on your cards.
Well, damn.
What?
Well, it's just the recording mechanism for all this is not available right now, but that's okay.
Oh!
My character sheet is on my PC, which I currently can't.
Well, you can just keep track of it on a note card if you want.
It's gonna be how I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah, that's no problem. Let me spawn you guys some components. It's under tools, I think. Yes. Note card.
Okay, there we go. 8,000 million.
All right, everybody gets a note
And
card.
we of course, give Ludo his share.
Yes, and Ludo gets his amount. Did you already have a note card there? Oh yeah, you got one down. That's right. You guys got them all on your. Never mind. I'm a dummy. I forgot you guys actually have them built in.
It's okay.
Very good. There you go. All right, and then I believe that 6 karma is definitely in order for your successful heist and non-tunification. Because I did not reward you after the heist was done.
Well, like I said, I won't be able to spend it right away, but
Nope, that's okay. I just want you to record it so to make sure you got it.
sure. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. All right, so you guys dock at the warehouse district, and you guys all kind of pile out. And yeah, I mean, I guess you
Should we scuttle the boat?
I mean,
No way.
it'd be kind of a shame, but if you want to sink your ship, you can.
Well, if we have a safe place to put it away from prying eyes.
Yeah, Ludo could probably put it in his warehouse district, or you can ask Boris if he can hide it for you. It's up to you.
Either way, we just don't want it tracked back to us.
All right.
So
You wanna call Boris up on your vid phone and see if he can hook you up?
yeah.
All right. So it rings a little bit, and then of course Boris's face appears on the screen. He's like, Zero, you're doing good. How did knockout gas work?
Like charm, Boris. Like charm. Thank you.
Very good.
We have a boat that needs to be hidden away somewhere, away from prying eyes. Do you know of a place where that could be done?
Yes, I will take care of it. Is it in the dock you left from?
Yes, it's in the dock by the warehouse. I'll text you the address.
Fantastic. I will take care of it. I'll send you bill.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Nice and easy. Good to see you on living side.
Same here.
Mhm.
Same here.
All right. So you guys exit the warehouse district, and a cab van shows up. You all kind of just look around at each other, look over at Ludo, and Ludo's standing there and smiles like, food.
Hungry?
Very.
I'm like, Felix, why don't you ask him what he'd like to eat?
I'll ask him in Japanese what he'd like to eat.
All right. Anything but tuna.
Agreed.
My good friend,
Absolutely.
it's so nice to hear from you. I'm so glad that we can now speak in a regular way.
Oh yeah. I had no idea you had said something sooner.
I too
But,
was unaware that you spoke perfect Japanese.
Oh yeah, perfect enough. I get my way around. Could have lived in Japan.
Right?
Anyways, let's go get
We're
something to
spending
eat.
a little karma on the Japanese language.
Yeah.
He can read English better than he can speak English.
Fair enough.
He has trouble enunciating his teeth, kind of
He
getting away.
clearly understands it.
Yeah, he understands it pretty well. He just can't enunciate English very well. To be fair, English is a bullshit language. It's like
Yeah.
Yes.
three languages in a trench coat made of bullshit. These are all the rules. Follow none of them, but all of them at the same time.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds about right.
Oracle, where do you want to eat?
I know a great deli.
Yeah?
Yeah, get some subs.
Just sounds like a good plan. Well, let's take you over to Vincent's Deli then.
Subs it is.
Pack it up. Wonk. Let's see here. Boom. And boom. It's not a library anymore. Now it's a deli. I have repurposed it.
Very good.
Now he's almost too big.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, I think it's actually about right.
Yeah. It's because he's a full body and you guys are just torso.
Possibly.
Alright. Alright, so you guys walk through the door and Vincent's way over here.
Like they opened up in a warehouse, but
Yeah,
they
right.
they didn't feel like sectioning it off, so
Yeah.
they just used the whole space.
Yeah, I couldn't find a nice enough place to really be both, you know. Alright.
It's fair.
But it was a good enough map. Like I like the space. No. Alright. So as you enter, Vincent's wiping down the countertops, the empty restaurant. You can hear clanking dishes in the kitchen, and he doesn't look up at first. He's just wiping down the counter. He's like, "Hey, we're freaking closed, pal." I get. Well, look who's home. Take a seat, fellas.
Thanks. We're wiped, but we're hungry. And the Oracle here says this is the best place in town to get subs.
I got you kids covered. You hold on right there. We got more than subs. He kicks open the swinging kitchen door. He says, "Hey, we got guests for dinner."
That's not ominous.
Several minutes later, an elderly woman emerges from the kitchen, looking irritated. But the grimace fades immediately as she sees Oracle plop down at a table. "You kids away right there. I'll be right back." And she disappears back into the kitchen. Vincent produces a bottle of Fresco and a few glasses and starts pouring drinks for everybody. Good to see you folks got through that unscathed. He looks over at Oracle. "Say, kid, they treat you good?"
Yeah, they're alright.
Very good, very good. All
You
right.
hear that, Zero? We're all right.
We're all right.
I happen to think we're a little bit of okay.
Yeah, small victories. Small victories.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that reminds me. Hold on one sec. He hands you your glasses. He turns around to the vid screen that's next to the till there, and he hits a couple of buttons. After a few seconds of ringing, somebody picks up on the other side. "Oh, you good? What do you want, man? You know what time it is?" Oracle just got back from her mission. Everything's good. "So fishing trip's canceled?" "Yeah, put away the cinder blocks, bud. I'll call you later."
Sounds like you guys had backup plans ready.
She is an asset / essentially family member.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't have a lot of little old lady standees, so I'm working with what I got.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days, I'm going to find an artist and commission the heck out of them to draw standees for me.
Well, for now she's a little young lady.
Yeah. I'm working with what I got, like I said.
Walking into the kitchen, de-aged her 60 years.
That's right. That's right. Like I said, I don't have a little old lady. She's got grayish hair, but yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Now she's not under all the stress of wondering whether Oracle would live or die.
Exactly.
I knew again.
Gemma appears once again with a platter of genuine garlic bread. It's been a long time since you've seen cheese, let alone melted upon freshly baked bread. The smell transports you straight to your childhood.
Oh my god. Yes, please. All of it.
It tastes so good that you're gonna call your mom after we're done streaming and just tell her she's wonderful. It tastes that fucking good. You're just like, oh my god. She walks back into the kitchen to grab some more food. Vincent just kind of refills her glasses. He's like, how'd everything go? Everything go pretty smooth? Everybody's cool?
Everybody's cool, man.
Put Wolf's down with the garlic bread. Dude, right? Garlic bread's always a good idea.
I had garlic bread for dinner with spaghetti and meat sauce. It was just fantastic, so you're just singing my song.
Right? That's fantastic.
Come to the stream. Everybody's hungry now.
That's right. That's what I'm here for. You guys look pretty war-torn, tired. Like you're not actually beat up. You had absolutely zero combat, but the exhaustion on your faces is so evident.
Yeah, no, we've all definitely aged in this.
Yeah, it was stress more than actual physical exertion.
So Gemma comes out with like pretty much a punch bowl of soup and sets it down in front of Ludo, and he just smiles and just like picks it up and just starts like glug 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 glug, you know, and so good. She produces a steaming, a very small cup of espresso for Felix. She's like, here, honey, this will sober you up a bit.
If you say so. And I'll take it.
She knows.
Yeah. You boys had a hard day, huh? All right. You eat the garlic bread, and I'll get some more stuff. She goes back into the kitchen, and you can hear pans clanking and stuff. She's going to town in there. So after a few minutes, she comes back out. She brings out some plates of pasta, and she walks around the bar, and she comes over to Oracle, and she just kind of walks up behind, puts her hands on her shoulders, just gives her a loving squeeze. She's like, how you doing, kid? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
So what'd you do on this trip
Good
anyway?
to see ya.
So good to see you too, sis. So tell me what happened?
We went on a mission to get a sword.
Ooh, very interesting. You beat the crap out of somebody?
I didn't.
Actually, you did.
I was gonna say, don't listen to her.
Yeah, you actually had the only combat.
Actually, no, I did. I did. I beat a Wendigo, and
She shock punched a Wendigo in his testicles.
That's
He died from shock.
That's my girl.
yeah, sock punched him where it counted.
Oh man.
How did he died immediately?
That reminds me of that time that you knocked that Horus guy out. You remember?
Yeah.
Oh. You guys want to go meet Horus? Let's do a flashback, everybody.
This is fun times of how you find out past of the Oracle.
Yes. Do. Assuming I can find the thing that is in alphabetical order. I think this is it. Boom.
Fight.
Boom. I chose mostly faceless people because they are unimportant. So, I wasn't about to pick like 100 individuals. But they're just reminiscing. So you tell the story of she begins telling you about the time that you were fit fighting in an abandoned subway, and basically dwarven combat was never a legitimate sport. They wouldn't let anybody box. It was too hard to fit them into the weight classes and height classes and stuff, and so basically if they wanted to do boxing, they had to do it all illegitimately, but that was fine because that's how the gambling happens anyway. These two ladies here were pretty infamous. Now keep in mind that Oracle is about 70 years old, and Gemma is about that age as well. She's a little bit younger. She's in her late 60s. So they essentially grew up together, but Oracle is obviously aged hardly at all because their lifespan is considerably longer. So, but they were basically teenagers and young adults together, and then you kind of saw the gap as it grew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they were down here boxing away, and it's the end of the third. I'm sorry, it's the end of the fourth round. And everybody goes to their corner. The bell rings, and Oracle is bludgeoned, bloody, and beaten. She comes over to the corner, and Gemma leans over the railing of the subway and says, "Hey, kid, I know I said you couldn't take him down to the fifth, but you don't have to block all of his punches with your face. Your dad's gonna kill me when I bring you home looking like that." All right, this is it. Bell's about to ring. He keeps dropping his left guard, probably because he's tired of punching you in the face. Take him out, and we'll get you all fixed up, sweetie. The bell rings, and the combatants move towards the center of the arena. And Horace stumbles a bit. His arms are getting heavy, and as Oracle approaches him, she gives him a spinning backhand, which misses his face but knocks his arms to the side. But the follow-up right cross is enough to crack bone. She follows it up with a flurry of jabs, but they're completely unnecessary. The opponent's already unconscious. The message just hasn't gotten to his feet yet. Horace crumples to the ground across the railroad tracks, and everyone erupts in cheering. People start paying out credits, and Gemma comes down and grabs Oracle by the arm and just kind of leads her away. What can I actually... Ha-ha! And they head out with their cash in hand. Gemma hands you an ice pack as you head down to the parking garage, and puts it on your face and leads you to a large limo SUV, which is not the cab that you arrived in. She opens the rear door and stuffs you in there, and she hops into the driver's seat. There's no driver to be seen. As she adjusts the mirrors, she realizes there are several girls already in the van. Where's Horace? Who the heck are you two? Gemma grins. Horace is napping on the train tracks. You want to go wait for the dock wagon to come pick him up? Or you want to paint the town red with us? The girls look at her, and they look over at Oracle, who smiles with a bloody-toothed grin. Maybe we should stop by a clinic before we head out to the club? Sounds good. And the car speeds off into the night. And that is just a little glimpse into Oracle's past. So the Italian family, Oracle basically changed Vincent's diapers, but now Vincent is the age that she is in dwarf years, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is basically her family, but she's also very clearly a mafia. You already know this is the mob. There's no maybe about it.
Yeah.
If you're wondering before, you're not wondering anymore.
I would assume that Felix would have picked up on it, as he has the underworld politics and whatnot.
Yeah. So this is the nut punch. That's a special move. That's a
the electric nut punch.
The shock nut punch. I expected that battle to go totally different. She just eradicated his testicles with a fucking punch.
Listen, I had to live up to my name.
Oh, God. That was amazing. So there's lots of laughing back and forth. You guys want to have a conversation? Want to talk about anything specifically? Now's a good time.
Now y'all know I'm part of the mafia, and we're cool now.
Listen, we're Shadowrunners. We'll work with whoever's paying the bill.
That's right. Right. Obviously, her safety is pretty important. I don't think anybody's told you. Probably she kind of plays everything close to the chest. So I'll let her tell her what's going on. But you know, you guys take good care of her. We'll take good care of you. You know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, she's part of the family now, so
That's good. That's a good way to look at it. I like that you guys understand that. That's very important. So, you guys need
could
food
not
in
have
your
pulled
area?
off today without her. That's for damn sure.
She's got talent, that kid.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A few moments later, the door dings one more time, and let's see here. Some other figures come walking into the area, and these guys are way too small. Sorry, let me throw them up a touch. I should have changed their size. Boop, 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 boop.
By halflings. Oh.
Yeah, right. Just brush them aside. It's no big deal. All right.
They look like cops.
They are cops. Boopity boopity.
You
I don't know.
guys
I don't
cops,
think
you gotta say that you're cops.
That's right.
So it's the rule.
That's good because we are cops, especially a Respot T100.
Oh, good.
Oh, lovely.
Favorite.
Yeah, they're just kind of meandering about. They're not really doing anything necessarily. But this guy specifically approaches you. He's like, "How you guys doing tonight?"
Doing great. Having some great food. Great friends.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
How's your night going, officer?
Well, I'm looking for some people and some information.
All right.
Well, there's some people here who don't know about the information.
But we might be able to help you out with that.
Well, I've been studying some footage from some street cameras and things like that, and we've been asking questions and things, and we're looking for some people of interest. See, I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a assault on a biker warehouse.
Assault on a biker warehouse.
Yeah, a bunch of dead bodies, explosive busts. None of that stuff sounds familiar to any of you gentlemen?
Oh, no.
Sounds horrible.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Does not ring a bell.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
You know whereabouts this occurred?
Oh, absolutely. He gives you the exact address, and you already know exactly where it is.
Okay. Yeah. Can't say as I know anything about that.
Well, see, normally I wouldn't care. When gangers get killed, I don't give a damn, because I don't like gangers.
Right.
And you guys don't look like gangers to me, so that's why I'm interested that you guys came up in conversation. You know, some odd descriptions and things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, Ludo over there is a really remarkable looking fellow, so I kind of get that.
Yeah,
get that.
Yeah, that's interesting. We've been following some motorcycle gangs, and we have some undercover people, part of the Seattle Halloweeners infiltration team, and one of those members was found shot on the shitter. And I don't like that.
Yeah. I can understand why.
Yeah, what a way to go.
Yeah. So,
see, I didn't know what you're talking about, but now I'm interested because you're saying someone, said something about somebody of our.
Yeah.
Somebody said we did it?
Word around town is that there's some Shadowrunners doing some business against the Halloweeners.
I'm sure there's many Shadowrunners doing business, especially gangers.
In this town, especially.
Why specifically us?
Oh, let's just say you guys kind of fit the description. There's some motorcycles that are missing that have been seen riding through the streets that look similar. It's hard to tell. You know, the resolution's not as good as I'd like it to be. That's why I thought I'd just come find you guys and maybe ask some questions. You know, I'd like to bring you guys downtown and you know, have a heart to heart. You know, with all you guys separately, make sure your stories are straight. Vincent kind of interjects. He's like, "Listen, fellas, quit bothering my patrons, okay? We're closed for business. This is a private party. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So some of the arrest bots kind of start gathering up. And Gemma goes into the kitchen, and as she's exiting the kitchen, the guy kind of gives her a look, and she's like, "What? I gotta go stop the food from burning, okay?" And she goes off into the kitchen. And after just a few seconds, she comes back in, and she walks over to Felix, and she kind of grabs him by his shirt, right by the shoulder. He's like, "You come help me move this pot. It's too heavy for me. I'm a little lady."
Excuse me, gentlemen. Just gotta go do this real quick, and then we'll work this out. I promise.
Yeah, don't disappear, pal. You understand what I'm saying?
Wouldn't think of it.
All right. And as you guys exit into the kitchen,
Jesus.
there you go. I should have built a little kitchen over here. As you guys exit, she grabs a hold of you and she pulls you down close, Felix. And she's like, "You go out to the back door. You go down the street. 3 buildings. There's a bar. You go inside. You tell everybody down there the cannolis are ready. You got me?"
Gotcha.
All right.
I'll do exactly that. 3 buildings down into the bar, and then I'll go to a centralized area in the bar, and I'll just loudly state, "The cannolis are ready."
Yeah, you just let the bartender know when you walk in. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So you go out the back door, and as you're going out the back door, you see her reach, like she moves the closet door over a little bit, and there's just a shotgun sitting right there, and she just grabs it off the wall. She heads over to the kitchen door, but she does not go back through the kitchen door. She's basically, in case they come looking through here.
Mm.
All right. So, Zero, I would like you to make a perception test.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to do good. I want you to do good for me.
All right. Well, my perception is 7.
Yeah.
So allow me to.
And you're looking for it. So I'm gonna give you. Let's see here. I'm gonna give you a +3 to the modifier because you're actively looking.
Okay.
You're sizing up your enemies.
+3, huh?
Yeah. Nice, 4.
I do pretty good.
Very nice. All right. So as you scan over your company here, you can tell that they are extremely well armed. This main guy here doesn't appear to be heavily armed at all, but you can tell he has cyber arms, and they're probably loaded to bear with weapons. This guy has essentially a juggernaut suit. He does not have a machine gun in his hand, but he does have what is essentially a bomb disposal suit. And you can tell that the robots are armed with both lethal and non-lethal top-notch equipment. So it's not.
So what you're saying is this will be fun.
This will be interesting. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Well, officer, I certainly don't want any trouble. I don't know that we can help you find whoever did these horrible things, but I'd certainly be willing to throw what information we have your way.
That's good.
If you could give me more specifics, perhaps?
Yeah, I got all the specifics waiting down at the station.
I was just more curious as to what you had now. See, as I recall, although I'm not sure how it works in Shadowrun land, and there might be different rules for the police there.
It's like real police, except all of you are not white.
Ooh, that's not good.
Imagine that you have a heavy accent and you're not from here.
So, complaining about them not having probable cause probably won't make the lick of difference.
They seem to think they have some evidence against you, but they want to get you separate so they can interrogate you separately. is their whole ploy. And you can absolutely turn this into a shootout if you want, which is just fine. But I actually want.
I was planning on stalling until the cannolis get here or whatever.
The cannolis.
It was promised cannolis.
If she comes out with a platter of cannolis, they just eat it and they just go into a diabetic coma and that's out.
That's how we want it.
No, I actually have the next part about 3/4 of the way finished, but I don't want to have this altercation just yet. But
you want to stop here?
I'm going to stop here, but this is exactly where I wanted to get.
Good timing. We're about to lose Feigning Taint anyway.
Are we? I got to go over and tuck him in real quick.
See you later, Feigning Taint.
I'm coming over to tuck your taint in. Yeah, this is the end of the first season. We're gonna pick up with the next one starting next time we do Thursday Shadowrun. What's the plan? Augie, are you almost ready for Cthulhu?
Yeah. So we can pick up where we left off for Call of Cthulhu next week.
Okay. You want to do that next week? That sounds awesome to me, man. I have missed that.
Yeah. Definitely. I've got a new goodie I have not shared with everyone yet, but...
Ooh, you want to share it on stream, or you got it right there?
Yeah. I got a new goodie for my 30th birthday. We got here a really nice book that contains a lot of really nice Cthulhu magics of sorts that are actually for the game itself. So
that's fantastic.
So it'll open up a bunch of, it's timely too, because you've gone and opened up a Pandora's box. It only makes sense that everything with it starts coming out.
That's awesome, dude. I'm really looking forward to that. That's a cool looking book.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, well, we could definitely pick up Call of Cthulhu next week.
All right,
for sure.
And then we'll do a couple of rounds of games and chill then.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. And I'll keep working on this stuff in the background. I've got some interesting things planned. We briefly explored some of Zero's background, and I want to dive a little deeper into that right after this altercation, because I got a really interesting story to tell for him. And we're gonna kind of, as we play this game, we're gonna kind of work through all the characters and give them a little more background, a little more substance. And I'll be getting some input from you guys as we go along. So, yeah. But Zero's already got a little inkling of what's going on, so it's going to be fun.
All right, well, I guess that'll be it then.
That is it. It was interesting being a storyteller and a cameraman. I did the best I could with what I got.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
Apologies again about that alarm going off.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
Hey, Feigning Taint, my pickle is awesome.
It's fine. Okay. Well,
girthy.
I guess we'll see you again on Sunday for Board Games and Chill.
Yeah, we'll meet right back here at the table. You want to, Aaron, if you get a chance, you want to pick a game and a couple of games and do a Discord poll, see who wants to see what?
Sure. Why not?
We haven't done one of those in a little while. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We've missed you guys.
It's been too long.
Out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you guys again soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.